Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Thank you for joining us on the Our Team Podcast. I am Brian Auer, and I'm here today with
Luke Cameron. I'm back.
Good to have you, Luke. I like it when you're on this podcast. I like the way we just kind of, spar and talk about, things that mean a lot and also things that mean absolutely nothing.
I love being on the podcast.
It's cool, right?
I don't know if it's because I like hearing my own voice, but I do. I like being on the podcast.
I don't like the sound of my voice.
Really?
No, because I sound so different. When I hear myself in my own head, I sound different. When I hear myself back, I say, "Who's that guy?" I don't sound anything like I sound in my mind.
I feel the same way because I think I have a much deeper voice than I think, but then I hear myself and I go, why am I talking so high?
Yeah. So, what were you talking? Backstage, we were talking about something having to do with Costco. What is this?
Okay, so I love talking to people.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if I have the gift of gab, but I definitely like to interact with people.
Sure.
And ever since I got into real estate, interaction is what we do the most.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit today.
We are.
Yes.
So every time you leave Costco, you check out, and as you're leaving the store, they have guys that are selling things to the left side in the Costco we have here in Temecula. Yeah. To the left side, they're selling like solar and carpeting and water and all of that. And every time I walk by those guys, they offer me something. No, I'm a renter. So I say, I'm a renter. I said, I don't own a home, but I help people buy them.
Yeah.
So they said, once I get one, I'll help, or something along those lines. But my main line is, I don't own a home, but I'll help you buy one.
That's right.
And finally, a couple weeks ago, the three guys, one guy stopped me. He goes, I'm looking for a home. So I stop the cart and I go, here's an opportunity. So I go over and I start talking to all three of those guys right there. And I find out, they're looking in Menifee and Fallbrook and Murrieta. And I hand each of them a card. And we're just sitting there chatting. And I go, I have a website and everything and all that. And probably 10 minutes later, I'm walking out the door and I get 3 notifications on my phone. This person is looking at your website. This person looking at your website.
That's
and it was
so
great.
cool.
And now they're in my website and I'm communicating with all of them. And I'm actually showing property next week to one of them.
So would you say that having conversations is a good thing in real estate?
I think one of the most important things is conversations.
Yeah. I said something at a team meeting the other day, and we had a guest with us, and they pulled me aside afterwards and said, that was one of the coolest things I've ever heard anybody say at a team meeting. And I was just like, are you kidding me? How long have you been in real estate? Because this person is more in the lending space, but he couldn't believe. All I said is, what the two most important things in real estate are conversations and appointments.
Yeah.
Conversations and appointments, right? Because that's how you move the needle, keep it going.
Right. Yep.
Well, he was just blown away at that. So I thought, maybe we should talk about that a little bit. It's so simple. It's what we do.
It is what we do.
And so sometimes we kind of have to reset a little bit and think about what's the point? Of all the stuff we do so much marketing. We're always out there with our names and the reels and the shorts and all the stuff that we're doing as real estate professionals to get the word out. But it should be for conversations,
right,
and appointments.
Yeah, well, when you post a piece of content, you want interaction. That's
right.
The whole point of posting it, is to get people to watch it and comment and hopefully reach out to you and say, wow, that's beautiful.
Right.
I want to go see that house or that property or that land or whatever.
Yep. I need to be able to be at a place where I'm giving you a ton of value. So when you reach back out, when you finally raise your hand and reach out to me, then it's with a purpose.
Yep.
And now it's like, I'm going to have a conversation with this person, and I'm going to really get to learn where they're at and where their mind is in the process of buying a home or selling a home, and just having multiple conversations with someone, and then getting to the point where you're brave enough to say, hey, let's book a coffee date. Let's meet over at such and such at such and such time, and let's talk about this process. That's when you will really start to see traction in your business.
And I had just you saying that sparked something. I had that happen to me 2 days ago. So I've had people, imported in my CRM for a while, and just dripping on them and sending them properties and emails
Yeah.
and the monthly newsletter we send
Sure.
out. And finally, someone yesterday, 2 days ago, they just replied out of nowhere. I've never had a email
Yeah.
back from them, a text back from them, anything. And then they emailed me and they just said, "Thank you for sending me all these properties. I'm very interested. I'm going to be buying in about 3 months. Let's get serious then. But
Yeah.
thank you. Keep sending me
Right.
this." Sent me a whole list of criteria, edited their stuff. And then yesterday they replied and said, "Wow, this house is beautiful.
Right.
When can we go see that?" So just out of nowhere,
Right.
just providing that value.
Yep.
A conversation
with no
started.
strings attached.
No strings
Right,
attached.
You're just,
Yeah.
we do rely on the rules of reciprocation. We're hoping for that, right? But
Yep.
but you're not making it difficult for them to search. You're just giving all this free value.
Yep.
You're staying in touch at a level that you should, because at the end of it, you want to do what? You want to have a conversation.
That's right.
So, and that conversation could be via text. It could be via email.
Right.
And it could be on the phone. But hopefully, if you're listening to this, the most important thing is that face-to-face, belly-to-belly, kneecap-to-kneecap
Yep.
conversations with people. So that means you have to move them from conversation to face-to-face. And face-to-face could just be that first time that you're going to see a property
Yeah.
together. But ideally, you want to do it even before then, because you can really have a deeper connection with that person.
How would you do
So
that?
You literally call them up, or whatever form of communication you are. So you don't want things to be in the sales environment. You don't want things to be awkward. So
Right.
if they're texting you a lot, don't call them and say, "Hey, let's get together."
Okay.
Because they're a texter. They're telling you what their preferred language is.
Right.
If they're emailing you a bunch, don't text them, because
Okay.
that's just, it might pop through on the same device, but it's like, that's weird. So talk to them. Don't make it awkward. Stay in their environment, what's comfortable to them.
Okay.
But in that space, ask them, can we get together? I would really love to meet you. It'd be great to connect and really find out what your needs are. I'd love to buy you coffee.
Oh, okay.
Right? You're not into coffee? Great. You can get creative. You can meet someone at the local restaurant,
Right.
or,
Tea.
tea,
A sandwich, a panini.
Go suggest somewhere where there's a lot of variety, so you can
Right.
say, hey, we can meet at Starbucks. So that whether if you're a tea person, you're a
Yeah.
coffee person. If you're
Okay.
if you're a sconer,
Sconer.
if you're a sconer, we can get you. So I think that's really what I wanted to touch on today. Is
Okay.
that we've been talking a lot about some basic strategies to get the ball rolling in your business, and things that you can
Yeah.
do right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, because we've already done podcasts and done a bunch of shorts on them. But
Yeah.
it is open houses when they're done correctly.
Right.
It is coffee dates,
Yeah.
and it is doing equity updates, right? So,
Okay.
But within that, what's the point of though? What is the point of doing an open house?
To people to come to it.
That's right. And for what? For what reason?
Conversations.
Conversations.
If it's your
Take-
open house, to sell it.
Yeah,
right?
oh, absolutely.
Get a buyer. But to get conversations with
Yep.
people.
And we do that. We do the type of marketing on our open houses that really, really help the seller sell their house.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, if we're to be very honest, and I think it's fine if you're a seller and you're listening to this, if there's two reasons for an open house. One, it really does help to sell your home.
It does.
It does increase exposure like crazy. But it really is a tool for whoever's hosting the open house to get prospective sellers and buyers, right? So we're not lying about that. I mean, it is an angle that we use as real estate professionals to, build our business.
That's right.
So, but if you're doing open houses and you're doing them effectively, you're circle prospecting, you're sly voicemail dropping, you're doing all the coming soons and all the stuff you're supposed to be doing, and we could do a whole show on that. I think we have, but we've expanded it now. Then you're going to have a lot of people at that open house.
Yeah.
And that's going to mean a lot of conversations
That's
and
right.
a lot of future appointments. That's the point. We talked about coffee dates. The reason why coffee dates are so great for in this scenario is because we all talk about how important it is to be known, liked, and trusted, right? It's a know, like, trust business.
Yeah.
And for me, I think when I'm around people in person, I feel like it's going to be the best way for them to actually really get to know the real me, right? to really get to know me and just my personality and this and I'm gonna get to know you. It's easier in person, so you can get known better. You can if you're likable, you can get liked better.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to think I'm likable.
Yeah, and when you're just using your hand signals or your body language
Right.
or whatever it is, you can. It just builds trust. There's just that personal thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very important. But again, that strategy of getting together with people is for the purpose of having conversation.
Yep.
A better, deeper, more meaningful conversation. And then when you're sending out your equity updates, right, via doing whatever kind you do,
Right.
whether it's a more complicated one where they have to click on a link and do all this and fill things out, or if you're doing the more old school ones that I think are more effective, which is simply just like the all at a glance.
Yeah.
What do you think about the all at at what we call at a glance equity updates?
The ones we talked about with the screenshots.
Yes.
They're fantastic. I've
Yeah.
been sending them out. And I've gotten a couple replies of people who are like, yeah, that sounds about right. One lady was upset.
Yeah, it's okay if they're upset.
She's like, what do you mean? My home's worth way more than that. And I said, well,
Right.
let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
So we did.
Yeah. Well, the whole point is to have a conversation, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And the point of doing an equity update is especially when you do the at a glance ones, you want it to be wrong. You do. You want, because if it's really high, then they're going to respond with, oh my gosh, I had no idea, blah, blah, blah. You have to at least let them know that you have your opinion on the market, and you can explain
Right.
to them the reason why it looks like it's about $100,000 high is because of these 4 properties and this just happened in the neighborhood and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or it's pulling from those new builds that are across the street or something.
Oh, yeah. That's-
Because the key to doing an at a glance equity update is that you have to make it look like you put it all together. You spent some time on it. It's directly for them, that client,
Right.
or that prospect, and it's got just enough detail in there to perk their interest. It doesn't have to be right. You're just providing them public info.
Yeah.
You can do it via text too by literally. I mean, you can. We just talked about this last Thursday.
We did.
You go to Zillow, you take a screenshot of what Zillow says their home's worth, and then you text it to your client and say, "Hey, I was thinking about you. I was on Zillow yesterday. This is what you're. I was on Zillow. You send them the picture. It shows the value. Say it's $930,000.
Yeah, the Zestimate.
Yeah. What do you think of Zillow's home value on your home? I have my opinion, and just leave it at that. And it strikes all kinds of conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Some will say, "Oh, that's ridiculous." Others are like, "Yeah, man, I got all kinds of equity."
Yeah, that sounds great.
But it opens up a conversation where you can say, "Hey, since values are so high in your neighborhood, do you think any of your neighbors would be interested in selling?" That's a lot softer than saying, "Hey, since values are so up in your neighborhood right now, when can we get together so I can sell your house?" Right?
That sounds like you're trying to convince them to sell
just
their house.
Ask them, "Hey, have you heard any rumors of anyone looking to sell their home?" I mean, look what values are doing in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Look, Roger, I know you don't want to move, but maybe you know some. And you'd be surprised how many times Roger will say, "We were thinking about moving this year because the kids just moved out of the house."
There we go.
Yeah. So, again, you're not going to know any of that crap unless you're having conversations.
That's right.
So, the coffee dates and the equity updates and the everything that we do that's out there, it's designed around having more conversations with people, and I think that's a great way to actually track what your pipeline looks like by how many conversations. Track every day how many conversations per day you have. The more you have, the more escrows you have, the more closings you'll have.
That's right.
So, and that's the whole point of all of this. One thing I didn't touch on when it comes to the process of sending out equity updates and stuff like that to your clients, sometimes they won't respond, right? Because the point is to get a conversation, but what if you can't get a conversation? Well, you don't drop it there.
No.
For me, what works really well, this process is to send that email out, and then maybe the next day send a text saying that, "Hey, I sent you an equity update.
Oh.
What are your thoughts?"
Okay.
And even better is to do a video. Don't be afraid of the video.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger. I'm going to use Roger. I don't know who Roger. I don't even think I have a client named Roger.
You need to
I
get
might.
a Roger.
Yeah. If your name is Roger and you're looking to buy or sell, please call Luke, because I don't want to have a Roger. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. So just you got your phone, and you literally just say, "Hey, Roger, I just want to let you know I just sent you a video, or I just sent you an email that shows the kind of a at a glance value of your home. Quick equity update for you. Let me know what your thoughts. But just so you know, I do have my opinion. So let's talk about it." That's the point. I have my opinion. You're not saying it's right. You're just saying this is what they say.
Yep.
All right. Here's what Zillow says. Here's what these different platforms say your home's worth. What do you think about that? I have my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
You hope it's wrong, because if it's perfect, they might just be like, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't need to talk to anybody.
Right.
It should be either way off on the high side or the low side to spark a conversation.
It's kind of a little bit of a shock. You go, wow.
Exactly. And then I follow up with a phone call about 3 days later. If they still haven't responded, then it's a quick phone call. Then you have an excuse to call them. Hey, I sent you a text. Sent you a quick video. I know it was pretty cheesy. I did send you an at a glance equity update, and I sent you a text to make sure. This is the reason I'm calling.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? You know, I've been doing this for a lot of my clients and prospective clients lately. What are your thoughts on it? Try to get a conversation. 'Cause sometimes people are just busy. They're not really blowing you off. It's just you're not top of mind. You're not especially if they're not a past client.
Yeah.
Then they don't really owe you anything. So be a little more persistent.
I'm guilty of that, not responding to texts right away.
Well, still, you got to understand in this business that it can take 9, 12, 14 touches to get a response.
Yep.
So if you send an equity update to somebody and they don't respond, then don't say they don't work.
Yeah. You still have 11 more. At least,
Yeah. Send an
touches.
email, send a text. Next week, do the same thing. Maybe send them a fresh new equity update. Just touch them. Just keep touching them until they respond. And if they respond with, "I'm not interested, don't ever, whatever, I hate your guts," right?
Yeah.
They're still going to get your newsletter.
They are.
I mean, the whole point is to be out there, be consistent, do the thing. I mean, you cannot be an agent that sits around right now in this market and says, I just got no business. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You have to be in your business every day doing these things to bring conversations. And at the very least, you'll be top of mind to that person. If they know nobody that's in the neighborhood looking to sell or buy, and they don't have a single friend, you're at least going to be top of mind when they do hear.
Yep.
You're ready to go. You're queued up and ready to go. So I think that's pretty much it.
I wanted to say it was 57 emails that I had sent to that person before they replied.
So you looked in the timeline to see
I did,
how many.
It said 57. And that was videos, newsletters. I mean, multiple videos. I've sent out, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff.
Yep.
Newsletters, properties at 57 before I got that reply. So 57 touches.
Yeah.
And then I finally got I'm looking in a few months.
Yeah.
So
I get this out of the blue. It was Amy. Amy and her husband, they bought a beautiful new build near San Jacinto.
Oh, okay.
And I had been, they came in through KV Core, and they had been receiving our just standard and customary stuff that was just I don't like to call it dripping on people. I like to say nurturing, because that's a little less disgusting than dripping on someone. I promise you I will never drip on you.
Thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate that.
If you're dripping on your friends, then you're sitting too close, right?
It's true.
So nurturing is a little more.
Okay,
better.
nurturing.
So
I like that better.
I get this text out of the blue. Hey, Brian, thank you so much. Yeah, I think we're ready to go ahead and sell our Hemet home. And we also have a home in Anaheim Hills that we need to sell, because we just want to bring the whole family together. We found a new build, so I think we're ready now. And I was like, oh, man, who is this person? So I'm looking, and I see that I have been having I've been communicating with her for a year and a half.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm just like, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking on the timeline and I scroll and it's like 30 or 40 down. And then it says, I got to click more. And then there's more. And then I'm clicking more like 4 times. And I have a year and a half of back and forth communication with her.
Yeah.
And it was 100% automated. So that ended up being a very nice paycheck.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was nothing. But of course now I have a meaningful relationship with them.
Right.
And so we communicate quite often because they're past clients and they refer us and they're just, and the thing she said to me is what I really appreciated about all of your emails and your texts and everything is that you were never pushy. So none of our nurturing sounds pushy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the campaigns that I've written for the team literally say things like, no need to reply, just wanted you to know. Mm-hmm. I literally invite them to ignore it.
Yeah.
Because then they're not so apt to just, I'm going to delete this guy because he's sending me too much stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we can talk about so much of that stuff. Every time we do a podcast, I think about like 10 things I need to write down for future, like how to write a good campaign. I've written a lot of campaigns that are very effective that work.
Yeah.
And I don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
So for a lot of this stuff, when you have the conversations, or maybe you're trying to dig some conversations up because they're so important, your campaigns, you're nurturing basically, and how you're doing it, what type of cadence that is. I'm not reinventing the wheel, but I have tweaked it for maybe our valley or tweaked it for the way our team operates. And we have a certain ebb and flow of the way we do things. And they've been very effective. I need to share those on a podcast.
I'm in the process of writing a campaign right now, and it's good. It's to know. Well, you. I mean, obviously, you have to, like you said, set the cadence.
Yep.
But I'm using one of yours to kind of base it off of. I'm like,
Perfect.
okay, let's use this. So, it's good though.
Yeah, if you're a team leader listening to this, one thing you want to do is make sure that you unlock all of those, so that when people can, so that's what you're able to do. You're able to clone what I've done.
Yeah.
And then just sort of tweak it just a little bit to sound a little more Lukey. You know what I mean? Because your clients know you. They know you. And I tend to be a little more, I'm more Brian Auer-y, right?
Yeah.
And so it's good to be able to, because maybe you're the kind of guy that really likes to put the smiley face in your texts. Maybe you're a guy that never does that. So you can build that stuff in and out of your campaigns.
Right. I'm a thumbs up guy.
There you go, thumbs up guy. I don't think I have a single thumbs up, so you're going to have to add a few in there. But you can leave the spirit of that campaign alone and just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, you don't have to. I already have everything hashtagged correctly and bracketed correctly, so it's always going to look like it's coming from you. Mm-hmm. Or going out to your specific client, because the campaigns are smart.
Yeah.
But anyway. All of this for conversations, you guys. Do what you can with all of these different techniques to and use them as an excuse to have conversations with people.
Talk to your local Costco guys.
Absolutely. That was a great story. I'm so glad you shared that, because now every agent in the valley is going to be going out of Costco going, hey,
there's that guy.
Yeah, there's that person.
Yeah.
And so thank you for listening. If you have any questions, we're easy to get a hold of. You can reach out to us through our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or however you're listening or hearing this on a podcast. Reach out through that platform, and we'll hit you back right away.
Before you
Yes,
go,
we will.
would you do us a favor?
Catch you on the next one.
If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment. It really helps us out.